So I was a Leslie Hornet, and when I started Leslie, we had a new Leslie and an old Leslie. And I was at the old Leslie in second grade. I had Miss Thomas, and the thing that I remember most about Leslie is there were hills in the hallway, and they would always have to say, "Don't run down the hills." We didn't have a problem running up the hills, but we did have a problem wanting to run down the hills. And then they built the new Leslie building, and I moved there as a third grader. And there were some profound memories and impacts from teachers and administrators at Leslie. In third grade, I had Miss Howie. And one thing I remember about Miss Howie is that she invited her boyfriend at the time for our Christmas dinner or our holiday dinner. And we made our ornaments. We got these clear cups and we colored with magic marker all over them. And then we would smash them down and bake them in this little toaster oven. And that was the ornaments for the Christmas tree. And that year at that particular day, we didn't go and eat lunch in the cafeteria. We made our own lunch in the classroom. And that was a wonderful memory that I still have with me today. Another educator that really made a profound impact in my life is Miss Barnes. So as you know, growing up, I was never a great reader. Never found a lot of joy in reading. It wasn't something that came to me easily and naturally, but Miss Barnes really started to open my eyes to the joy of reading. At Leslie, another teacher that touched my life was Miss Bogan. Miss Bogan was my sixth grade teacher, and she always showed up prepared for the day. She looked great. Her appearance, the way that she carried herself was very calm. And I remember just watching her mannerisms, just thinking, I want to be like that. You know, I want to show up for work and be ready for my day. And from there, I went to be a Castle Heights Knight. I also ran for student council, class president, and won that. And that was very impactful in my life, because I think that's the first time that I had believed in myself in a leadership role. And then also the first time that I stopped to realize that everybody matters. And no matter where they come from, they have a voice and they have an impact. The other thing at Castle Heights was Mr. Budden. Mr. Budden was the principal when I went through, and he was very impactful in that he wanted to engage and listen to the students. And that was the first time, I think, as a student, that I was treated as if my opinion mattered and wanted to be heard. He was always interacting with the student council, asking their opinion, trying to find ways to better the school. And so to have an adult in that role, want to hear what we as a student body wanted, made a lasting impression. Another teacher that was very impactful there was Miss Honeycut. Miss Honeycut and Mr. Sanders. Miss Honeycut taught English, and one of my memories of her is that she would put song with hand movements. So like semicolon, conjunction, can't do it today, but I feel sure I aced the test then, because all through the test I was singing the song with the hand movements. And so I really appreciate that she thought out of the box and that not every person learns the same way. And to reach out to that student that maybe needed that song like me, or some hand movements to go with it to learn. Mr. Sanders taught history. He taught South Carolina history. He was passionate about it. He always displayed passion and genuine interest in his subjects. From the Knights, I became a Rock Hill Bearcat, and I am so proud to be a Rock Hill Bearcat. In Rock Hill, at that time, we had two high schools. We had the Trojans, which was not the original high school to Rock Hill, and then we had the Bearcats. And the Bearcats were, to me, was the high school to be. If you were Rock Hill Bearcats all the way. And so Mr. Lesmeister, Eric Lesmeister, was the principal there. And again, what a wonderful, wonderful person to have in a leadership role. He wasn't just a principal. He gave his life, his daily life to that school. When I graduated Rock Hill High, I went and attended Winthrop University. And so I am a Rock Hill girl through and through, and just very, very proud of the roots and the nourishment that I've received from this community and the people in this community. My first job out of college was with Megaforce Staffing. It was located in the Winthrop Commons, kind of where Earth Fair is now, and did pretty well for that company. Left Megaforce Staffing and started working for a staffing company in Charlotte, Greystone Staffing. And after about a year, they closed down. And so I had been laid off. I lost my job. She called us in one by one and laid us off and closed the doors. And so at that point in time, I did a lot of soul searching, because it's something that I realized either I'm going to go seek another job, or I'm going to step out on faith and try this on my own and know whether I succeed or fail. And so I did. I started Carolina Recruitment in Mom and Dad's spare bedroom, because I wanted to have somewhere that I could get up and go drive to. And called on just people I knew in the community and some clients that I have serviced in the past. And that is how Carolina Recruitment began. Grace Lutheran Church was my first client ever, which I think is a little symbolic in a way. They were building their new sanctuary and they needed a groundskeeper. And I was the one to find them the groundskeeper. Before I had an office, I would go to the public library and I would interview people in the public library. And I would be like, we have to whisper, but I promise you, I can get you a job. And so they loved it. And went from there and moved on Mount Gallant and shared an office with Gary Dye, who owns a tax business. Moved from there to a building on Celanese. Outgrew that space, and now we're in our present space, which is off of India Hook Road. Carolina Recruitment has been a blessing to me and my family, and hopefully a blessing to many others in the community. So the talents that I learned in the Rock Hill schools and that I still try to emulate today probably is that leadership role of the Mr. Budden and the Mr. Lesmeister. You know, they had a big job. They had a lot of people they were responsible for, and they were somehow able to put a personal touch on that. And they did it very well with grace and ease and confidence.